Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dennis Layug, and I head here in the Department of Agriculture, the division called ICTS, and the Digital Agriculture and Special Projects also. So these are the things that I handle here in the Department of Agriculture, of course, with the leadership of our beloved Secretary, Dr. William Dar. Just to inform everyone, agriculture right now is at the forefront of this pandemic. With the latest results that were reported, agriculture is the only positive industry. Agriculture is positive 1.6 despite of the pandemic, while all other industries are down by 16.5%. So agriculture really is at the forefront of this whole corona virus pandemic. So with that realization, we are now strengthening more by asking for for a bigger budget from Congress, so that we can strengthen further agriculture. You know, for the longest time, the growth of agriculture is only 0.9% every year, annually. But when Secretary Dar came in last August, can you just imagine, even less than a year, the growth is 1.6, more than the annual growth for the previous years. So you can now see the dedication, the hard work of the whole Department of Agriculture headed by Secretary William Dar. And this is the only year wherein Department of Agriculture is focusing on what we call Agriculture 4.0, better known as digital agriculture, with the use of new technologies, of emerging technologies such as AI, machine learning, cloud. We can talk about robotics. We can talk about sensors. We can talk about remote sensing. We can talk about drones. You know, if I talk about all these things, it will take us probably 1 week. So, you know, I will just summarize everything that we need. Of course, e-commerce is at the forefront already of our digital agriculture. This is to help the farmers sell their produce. The whole idea of e-commerce, we created a platform called e-Kadiwa. E-Kadiwa is the very first e-commerce platform of the Department of Agriculture. E-Kadiwa is not only from farm to table or to fork here in the Philippines, but e-Kadiwa is now going to be the Alibaba of Philippine agriculture, meaning all the producers, all the farmers and fisher folks, and all the processors who would like to announce to the whole world that they can sell outside of the Philippines, this is going to be the platform. So now we are working with the different governments. In fact, later I have a meeting with the government of Netherlands about digital agriculture, and not only that, about e-Kadiwa. Because, you know, for the longest time, agriculture has been neglected in the country, and we all know why. But now, people look up to agriculture. In fact, yesterday, I was in Nueva Ecija with Honorable Secretary William Dar, together with our DA Ambassador for Food Security, my twin brother, James Reed. I don't know if you know him. So, how I wish he's my twin brother, right? We were with him, and you know, he's also into digital agriculture. You know, he is into hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics. In fact, we have a system we can control a farm using our cell phone. So these are what you call digital agriculture side, you know, technologies. That is why I am now, this is a shout out to all. I hope even the education sector is listening. If you're private, if you are autonomous, if you're government, shout out, because in the government we are looking for skills. In the Department of Agriculture, we are looking for skills related to business analytics, data science. Data science is very, very important. Analytics is very, very important. We need people who know how to do, how to create something out of nothing using Python, using R, how to use cloud right now. Cloud, we all use cloud. In fact, this technology is using cloud also. So all these emerging technological skills needed in digital agriculture should be in the curriculum. Because if we will not do something about it, we will be left behind again. Let us take out all the subjects that are not needed anymore. I mean, I'll be honest with you, because I'm exposed in other countries as well. I brought in some people. Of course, a lot of people will react with what I'm going to say. But I brought in some foreigners here, and I brought them to a school, and they saw students practicing dance, so they thought there's a course. And then when we said, "Oh, that's physical education," right? And they said, "Okay, so they're in basic education." I go, "No, they're in college." And then they said, "What? How do you have to be in college? How many units?" So they started asking already. They got so interested because students were playing, and and it's taking time. And then I told them, because they have to be physically active, health related. They said, when they're already adults, you have to make them responsible for their own health. Instead of having these subjects, why don't you now teach them with skills that we really need in the industry? Well, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because they said that we are the only country with PE in college. So anyway, I was amazed, when I learned from them, right? So and then we started talking about technology, and they started interviewing the students, and then they said, "Do you know data science?" The students had blank faces. Analytics. Again, they had blank faces. And they're talking to agriculture students. Do you know remote sensing? No. How about geotagging? No. So everything that they ask, the students are all blank. Here comes now the faculty. And they said none. Behind me, I have here, okay, I'll just show to you. Behind me is my dashboard, real-time data. I can see how many farmers are registered on a daily basis. I can extract all the data that I need for better decision making. So here in the Department of Agriculture, the secretary is very particular with data, because without the data, how can we now make sound business decisions for the whole country, right? So we can find out, that is region 11. I can find out in region 11, for example, like how many PWDs are doing farming, how many related ARVs, etc., how many female and male farmers, so that we can come up with interventions to help these farmers and fisher folks. This is a very simple example of what you call part of digital agriculture. So, even if I'm not here in DA anymore, maybe years from now, this is the legacy that we would like to have here in the Department of Agriculture, especially Secretary Dar. He said, with the use of technology, with the assistance of technology, we can do more things, and which is right. Now, going back, I would love to show to you right now what we have in the digital agriculture roadmap. So we have now created roadmap. Is you are the first university to witness the digital agriculture roadmap. Now, yesterday I was in Central Luzon State University, and we signed a MOA with them worth 300 million, and part of that is actually precision farming, digital agriculture. They now have a department for that. So, and we funded it. The national government funded it through the Department of Agriculture, and we would like to strengthen it further. So they have now advanced, they're going to have advanced technologies when it comes to digital agriculture, including business side of it. Now, maybe my chief of staff, this is Darlene Rontas. Darlene, can you please share with Xavier University the digital agriculture roadmap that we have? So I hope our internet is fast, so that the students and the faculty members and the administrators will find out what we are going to do for the next 3 years. there you go. So we just showed to you the digital roadmap, digital agriculture roadmap that we have. So you're the first university to actually see it. Yesterday, I did not play that in in CLSU. Going back now, the biggest question that we have currently right now is, are we ready for this? Are we going to embrace this? So we are now telling everyone we will go through this already, and we are already implementing a lot of these programs. So it's just a matter of mind setting. We have to tell everyone, we have to tell the students, the faculty members, the administrators, the universities that we should start embracing technology, because we are headed towards that era we're in. Right now, the growth of population in the Philippines is what? More than 1% every year, almost 2%. Before, the growth of Philippine agriculture was only 0.9%. So that means more people will go hungry. We will import more if we will not embrace the use of technology. We have to be food sufficient, food secured Philippines. And one of the things that Secretary Dar is pushing is really the digital agriculture, because it will help us attain food security and food sustainability, food efficiency, and food affordability. So all these things are very, very important. Now, that's why I'm telling, I was talking to the president of CLSU yesterday that, we need to make changes. Because if not now, when? According to the United Nations, by year 2030, we need to produce 70% more food. 70% more food worldwide, so that people will not go hungry. By year 2050, this is a very scary statement. I was listening to the speaker that we need to feed 10 billion people in the world, but there are now less agricultural lands. So he said that wars might be created because of hunger, because of lack of food. So here we are now in this situation. So we need to focus more on agriculture, and technology will bring us there also. Will help us bring us to food security. I'll also give you an example. Okay, if you do not have lands right now, can you produce? Yes, with the technology such as hydroponics, aquaponics, and aeroponics. Even if you have 500 square meters and you have several layers NFTs of hydro and aquaponics, you can actually earn 10 million a year. And that kind of setup, imagine you don't have land, you don't have soil, but you can start producing. I can actually produce now strawberries in Metro Manila using technology. We can produce lettuce, we can produce cherry tomatoes, I can produce tilapia in my backyard. I can produce bangus in my backyard. I can produce shrimp in my backyard, and I can actually commercialize it. This is with the use of technology. Of course, the soil condition now in the Philippines, is not as nice as years ago. And because of commercialization as well, we are now converting some of the agricultural lands, right, into commercial areas. So what is now the solution? Technology again. That's why we are focusing now on digital agriculture. All right, now let me go to our other topic, which is marketing, agribusiness. So we created e-Kadiwa. Uh, e-Kadiwa is a Lazada of agricultural products. So we just started with it. Of course, if you start something, it will take time for people to accept that, because we realize, in this pandemic time, when we started going to GCQ or even MECQ and now MGCQ, instead of people buying from the e-commerce platform, they would still rather go to the supermarket, the market, the wet and dry markets. They would rather go to go to these markets than order and deliver to their doorsteps. When we started interviewing people, how come they would rather do that? Because they said they want to see it, they want to hold it, and they want to choose. So, and that is one downside of the e-commerce platform in the Philippines. In other countries, they just want to order, right? In Singapore, in other countries, advanced countries, Japan, they just want their produce delivered in their doorsteps. In other countries, like in Europe, it's the same thing. But in the Philippines, we are still not there. And do not be surprised that we have high cases of infection, because in the market, we all know that, right? In some fish ports, there was a fish port in Mindanao, they locked it down for quite some time because a lot of people got infected, right? So you get infected in these public areas. But, I respect that. I can see that people are still, they want to go out of their houses because it's freedom for them when they go to the market. So they, before they used the e-Kadiwa a lot, but when we relaxed the quarantine system that we have, they started going to the markets again, which I perfectly understand. So we will strengthen more our e-Kadiwa, but e-Kadiwa is not only from the market. What is the main purpose of e-Kadiwa also? The main purpose of e-Kadiwa is to cut down on the middlemen. Just in case you don't know, from farm to table, we have 6 to 8 middlemen. That is why our food is quite expensive here. I'll give you an example. 1 kilo of ampalaya is sold, the farm gate price is 37 pesos. Now, when we bring it, when we buy it in the supermarkets, it is already 150 pesos because of the middlemen. So one of the things that we're trying to cut down, because we have to protect the interests of the many rather than the few. Of course, I understand that businessmen would like to earn, right? But there are 110 million Filipinos that we have to feed. Of course, we would like to bring down the cost of food in the Philippines. Inflation right now is stable. In other countries, inflation skyrocketed. The cost of food is very, very high. In the Philippines, during pandemic, it's very stable. And I would like to honor and thank the whole department through the leadership of our Secretary, William Dar. And, I don't want to go into politics, right? But the president himself, President Rodrigo Duterte, is supporting agriculture. And that is something that we really appreciate. And then right now the Congress is giving us support. So now we have Bayanihan 2. Of course, they did not give us the budget that we are asking for. We can understand why not, because of the pandemic. We have limited budget, but at least they gave us enough to be able to implement a lot of our projects, and we would like to thank the Congress for that. We understand the situation right now, and Secretary Dar has a very good plan on how to have maximum results, even if this is the only budget that we got. So we will work hard here in the Department of Agriculture, together with Secretary Dar and all the undersecretaries and the assistant secretaries and all the directors and all the staff, even ordinary staff here. Just in case you also don't know, during this pandemic, Department of Agriculture is operational. We come here, ECQ, nobody's out. It seems like I own the roads in the Philippines. There's no traffic, but we have to go to the office every day because we have to make sure that the whole Philippines will have food on their tables. We have food security. Now, so technology again, because of technology, we are able to do that. So going back to e-commerce, the e-Kadiwa, the main purpose of e-Kadiwa is really to bring down the cost of our produce. And it happened because for some suppliers there in e-Kadiwa, the commodities are cheaper, which is good. That is a good effect of e-Kadiwa. Now, moving forward, e-Kadiwa now is going to be the Alibaba of Philippine agriculture. So this is also a shout out to all those who are interested to export their products. For as long as you have the capacity to export, then you can put your products in e-Kadiwa, and then the whole world will find out about you being an Philippine agricultural exporter. Now, for e-Kadiwa is only being rolled out here in Metro Manila initially, because we are testing the market. Hopefully, we can roll out the e-Kadiwa also in key cities like Cebu, Davao, Cagayan de Oro. Is part of the whole plan. We are definitely looking forward to that because it will create more jobs. Meaning, okay, when you have e-commerce platform, definitely logistics will be needed. So we have tried this out. GP drivers who lost jobs, they are now delivering produce because of e-Kadiwa. Even some OFWs who lost their jobs, now they have motorcycles. So they deliver products. They deliver, to your doorstep. So we created another busy industry, which is logistics, because of e-Kadiwa. So not only the farmers, so we have farmers and co-ops. They sell direct from e-Kadiwa. They sell direct to the households here in Metro Manila. So that is the whole. These are the main purposes, main objectives of e-Kadiwa, and hopefully soon more countries will look at e-Kadiwa, so that countries will start ordering from us. Philippines is an agricultural country. If we strengthen it further with the use of technology, then more people will have jobs and our economy will grow bigger. Our contribution right now to the economy is 10%. Imagine 10% right now, the whole economy. And we are hoping we can do more. And it's a record. It's a record in Philippine agriculture. So we would like to work harder, to be able to attain all these things. So that is what we have here in the Department of Agriculture. I can explain to you all the other things that we can do. I can explain to you that with the use of my cell phone, I can control my farm. Uh, we can explain to you that there's a software wherein uh, if I take a picture of a certain plant, I would know what that plant is. If there's a pest, I will already know what kind of pest that is and what kind of intervention. Uh, we also have here, you saw a while ago, we have drones. Yes, we have drones here. In fact, in my office here, we have a big drone. It can spray, it can do a lot of things, right? We are now doing RSBSA. RSBSA is a law here, so registration of farmers and fisherfolks, right? And we are already doing e-KYC, electronic know your customer. So these are now technologies that we are using. I asked my colleagues here, especially my chief of staff and all the other division heads, do you know people who knows data science? Because we need to make decisions. This one is Bantay Presyo. Bantay Presyo, I can find out all the prices of all commodities today. This is just in Metro Manila, and I can find out, let's say, if the price is erratic, So I was asking for people who know data science. Unfortunately, zero. No applicants, zero. If you're a data scientist, I'm sure you will not apply in the government. Sorry about that. Why? Because private institutions are paying 6 figures on a monthly basis to data scientists. Well, of course, in the government, you cannot get that, right? So if you choose between private and government, you would rather go to government if you are a data scientist. That's why I'm happy, I met this company. They are now doing, if I may announce also other schools, if you permit me, there are other schools now doing data science, business students and other students not related to business, they're doing data science. There's a company called Hakuhodo. It's an international company. They have a certification for students, data science. Imagine data scientists will teach your students. That is something that I would like to push. It's a certification. It's all about skills now. In other countries, they do not really check if you're college graduate or not. But of course, here it's still, what we have here. But in other countries, aside from your college degree, you need to have certification. Certifications are very important. Here in my office, I look for certifications because I get a lot of applications. Let's face it, I get a lot of applicants here. Fresh graduate, 99.999999999%. They have the same thing in their resume. Whenever I ask them a certain question, they cannot even answer me anymore. My very basic question is, you're talking of the top schools, right? The top schools all over the Philippines. Fresh graduate. I ask them, why will I hire you? So if you're not me, and of course, I will ask them, why will I hire you and not graduates from UP, LaSalle, Silliman, UST, etc., etc. And then they said, sir, I'm hardworking. Of course, everybody will answer hardworking, right? Sir, I have high grades. And what if somebody says, hey, wait, UP, I'm also high grade. I have high grades, So we are looking for skills. Whenever I ask them, they cannot answer me. In fact, sometimes the faculty, they cannot answer me. Why will I hire you and not the others? There are a lot of faculty members applying here in my office. There are a lot of professionals already applying here in my office. So why will I hire you and not the others? Sir, because I have this. I know how to do this. Okay, you're familiar with it? Yes. How about the skills? Skills level? There's none. So whenever I ask that question, I always tell myself, hey, maybe, institutions right now should open their minds and start providing their students with certifications needed, because these are measurement of skills. If you have outcomes-based certification, that is wonderful. So I asked, there's a university, I will not mention which university, one university in Luzon. Students are taking AI. Imagine, these are not IT and engineering students. They're taking AI, business analytics, data science, certified cloud systems analyst. These are 4 skills already that the graduates will possess with international certifications. Somebody applied. Immediately, I hired that person because that person has something that the others do not have. And I would like to encourage everybody, even if it's not offered in the university, that shouldn't stop them. They should do it on their own. I'm a graduate of a medical course, but I have developed a lot of technologies already. It's not in the course, actually. I'm doing farming. I have farms. And in my farms, I use technology. In fact, I can measure the pH level. I can see the pH level of my aquaponics here in my office. I don't need to. Nobody's in my farm right now. I just have cameras there. Nobody's in my farm right now. But things grow there. That is with the use of technology. So, and we would like to strengthen that further. Because we'd like to produce more food here. Now, with that being said, maybe some will react with what I am telling, especially some universities who are still not willing to go to that space. Right now, in this pandemic, we are all using technology. And maybe that is already a sign that, hey, maybe we should start really introducing all these certification programs in our institution. I remember, I don't know, he's an SBD, Father Ben. You can follow me in my Facebook. Father Ben, together with some Archbishop, they are into technology. You will be amazed. You have a friendly school also. Father Saturnino Urios University, FSUU. Oh wow, ma'am. First, all their students will be taking a Microsoft certification. Amazing, great. Their students are taking AI. Their students are taking digital marketing. All agriculture students should take digital marketing certification. Why? How do you now sell your produce? See, that's a weakness of a lot of our agriculture students. Digital marketing will help you sell your produce using technology. I think that is something that we should push for all agriculture schools. Digital marketing, data science, FSUU. I mentioned that. That's in Mindanao. And remember, that school is being run also by priests. And they are open because they know that this is what the students need to be able to get good jobs, to be able to have also a good future. Well, aside from the soft skills. Now, I'm talking about the hard skills, the technical skills, the technology. But wait, let us not forget. I also want to express this to everyone. Let us strengthen the emotional intelligence part of our students. I notice right now, the younger generation, when you tell them or when you get mad at them, immediately they become emotional. Immediately, it seems like their world will stop. They don't know uh, they don't know how to interact. When people start defending themselves. When you start, if you want to sell your idea, you should be ready with this. You have to strengthen your emotional intelligence. That's a top soft skill that we are looking for. Um, uh, Aside from that, they should know how to pitching ideas. In agriculture, the best, the successful ones in agriculture are those who can pitch their ideas, those who can sell, in agriculture. So imagine if you have digital marketing skills and then you have, winning pitch skills, then you have the best combination. So, I've encountered a company also, and they do that. I think they are already also in other colleges and universities, but it's a wonderful company. But I would like to push for data science. I would like to push for AI, cloud, digital marketing, all these skills to students. So even if the schools are not offering that, they can take that, on their own. But of course, the schools, should be able to assist them as well. Um, yeah. So I think I've been speaking for an hour. Sorry. you know, once I start speaking and sharing to everyone, I won't be able to stop. But this is an opportunity also for myself, and for my team, for the Department of Agriculture, to open the eyes of a lot of students, a lot of people, a lot of parents, a lot of administrators, that strengthening agriculture is not only about what we normally do. We have to go out of our boxes. We have to open our minds. We have to embrace technology. We have to make sure that technology will be able to assist us and find ways to be able to make agriculture more successful. So that, with that being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you in behalf of our Honorable Secretary William Dar, the one responsible right now for this department, and he's doing an excellent job. Of course, I would have to shout out also to our Finance Secretary, Secretary Dominguez, for the support, to Congress. To Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. I hope you can also hear this, because he supports agriculture and the farmers. And thank you for your support, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez. I know you're there. Just in case you hear this, by the way, I'm glad that region is very active in agriculture. And of course, we'd like to thank the president, because he said that he will be supporting the agricultural sector all throughout. So, I can thank a lot of people, but more than anything else, I would like to thank Xavier University for giving this opportunity. And if I may announce this, at the end of the day, we are all into nation building. And here in the Department of Agriculture, we assure you that we work with integrity and with honesty. I will vouch for that. I came from private, and I just came in here. Of course, I had the same perception, but with the leadership of Secretary William Dar. Um, we assure you, we assure the public that we will do everything in our powers to make this world a better place for each and every Filipino. Whether you're a farmer, a fisher folk, or you're a consumer, we are all dedicated here to make things a reality for all our farmers and fisher folks and to serve the Filipino people. So with that being said, maraming salamat sa inyo.
Okay. So, sir, let's go to our first question. Uh, this is a question from our audience. How will the Agri 4.0 roadmap be cascaded in the regions?
Okay, in the Agri 4.0 roadmap, we have a lot of projects. All our projects are automatically going to be implemented, on a nationwide scale. So whatever we develop here in the main office will all be cascaded and be used by the regions. But of course, we have to do it in phases. Like the e-Kadiwa, which is the very first e-commerce platform, we started with Metro Manila, and then we are planning to roll this out after the testing phase. We're planning to roll this out in key cities like Cebu, Davao, Cagayan de Oro. So it's just a matter of time before it reaches there. But the other programs like uh, the RSBSA system that we have, it's already being used by the regions. We call it FFRS. So um, agriculture 4.0 is very broad. When you talk about agriculture 4.0, it can be platforms, it can be use of robotics, it can be drones. Uh, it can be the latest technologies like aquaponics, hydroponics. It can be the use of satellite. So um, some of the programs that we have will definitely be cascaded, but we do it in phases.
I see. Okay, thank you so much, sir. So I think that answers our first question. Now let's go to the second one. Agri 4.0 requires proficiency in IT and data science. What is the plan of the Department of Agriculture in preparing its existing human resource, especially in the regions and in the LGUs?
Okay. Since most of the development happened here in Metro Manila, so we've started training our ICTS team. So when I came in the Department of Agriculture, the first thing that I did was to introduce to them emerging technologies such as developing something out of Python, R. I introduced to them machine learning. I introduced to them AI. I introduced to them blockchain. Uh, and I'll be honest with you, right now we still do not have that schedule on how to train also in the different regions. So re- that's true. It requires proficiency, especially in data science. Now, my concern in data science is this: data science has to be built in the educational system. So the schools will have to initiate, the schools will have to have at least the very basic of business analytics, of data science, um, because it that these are the foundations. So I really suggest that the universities start teaching their students. I'll be honest with you, even if you're not IT or comp sci students, you everybody has to learn emerging technologies. Like I know some business students who took up Python on their own without formal training. But data science, of course, you need a little of everything. No, so the foundations will have to start from the universities. Um, Go ahead. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Now let's move on to our next question. So this is actually a two-part question. It's about the plans of DA. So does the Department of Agriculture have a plan to work closely with CHED so that the needed IT and data proficiencies can be incorporated in the policies, standards, and guidelines of the BS Agriculture, BS Agribusiness, and BS Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering? Additionally, it's also another. This is another question from our audience. They also ask if. Wait a moment. Where's that? Okay, so they're also asking if DA have a okay. Is there any intervention from the Department of Agriculture to review the curriculum, most especially in the basic ed department, where career guidance meet?
Okay, very good questions. Because I am a believer of introducing it to the colleges and universities. Well, if we have plans, I've already had an initial meeting with Commissioner Adamat when it comes to this. Um, but let me go back uh, to um, to CHED and maybe to DepEd, so that we can help in, we can suggest and revisit the curriculum. So thank you for that question, because that made me realize that I need to initiate already. I need to initiate things, based on the actual practice that we have in the Department of Agriculture. So rest assured, uh, I will be uh, I will be discussing this with Secretary Dar, so that I can set up a meeting between the Department of Agriculture and the Commission on Higher Education. And then revisiting, yes, I will definitely suggest. I have been suggesting this for quite some time, but the biggest problem really is who will teach, because industry, we may say, okay, data science, etc., but who will teach? Those in the industry, especially if you are already earning six figures, they don't want to go to to teach in a university, because they are earning so much already in the private institutions, right? So that is one challenge that we have. We a university might like to implement, let's say, data science course, but who will be teaching? That's why we are pushing for certifications, because if you take certification programs, like we know a couple of institutions providing certifications for data science, for emerging technologies, for digital marketing, you know um, uh, we let them do that. So a lot of universities outsource to them, because the universities do not have the experts to teach all these things, right? So especially in the other provinces, in the other regions. So yeah, thank you for this question. I will definitely act on this.
Okay, so thank you, and also thank you to our audience who asked that question. So as what Sir Dennis said, that's very, very good question. Now let's go to our next question, sir. One of our audience is asking, is e-Kadiwa friendly to small farmers?
Yes, okay, in Metro Manila, we have experienced that. From what they produce in their farms, they joined e-Kadiwa, and they said, they're able to sell some of their produce. But of course, still people are very particular with, especially fresh produce like vegetables and fruits. You will be amazed. Filipinos are not yet ready for online delivery for vegetables and fruits. They would rather see the vegetables and the fruits before they buy it. So, alam mo yan, they want to hold it, they want to see it, and it's something that it's not yet acceptable here. People would rather still go to the markets to buy fresh produce. But for the other products, yes, like cacao. We now have a partner. He said he's selling very well. He processes this. He produces products out of cacao.
I see. So, of course, I think we'll start with baby steps muna, so small steps, and then the people will eventually adapt, of course, to
Yeah.
online market or yes, buying online. So anyway, sir, I think this is a bit of a follow-up question from our previous question. So for this one, they are asking, how will the Department of Agriculture make Agriculture 4.0 work for resource poor, aging, and traditional farmers?
Okay. Uh, One of the things that we would like to do is um, really to help the marginalized sector, or the um, the farmers, the poor farmers that we have. No, that's why we also developed this application wherein they can actually advertise their products, so to eliminate the middlemen. Uh, if you want to sell, for example, your vegetables, uh, you can sell it within your vicinity, or you can sell it. So that really depends. So, but you can sell it direct to buyers. You take out the middlemen. So now the income of the farmers will be higher because you take out the middlemen. Like the sample that I gave, sabi ko nga sa inyo, Ampalaya farm gate price is 37 pesos, but when it reaches the market, 150. So instead of that, what if the farmers now can, because we developed two platforms for that already, the farmers, instead of 37, they sell it at 50, right? Direct now to the buyers. No, no more middlemen. So that's how 4.0 works. With the use of platform. Aging in traditional farmers. Right now, we are developing auto planter robots. So it plants automatically. If you have hydroponics or aquaponics farm, we have an auto planter that we are developing right now. We are also developing what you call automated weather stations, our own. So it will help predict, weather disturbances, pH level, etc., etc. Um, and we are now also giving tractors, but these tractors are already advanced tractors. You don't need to you don't need a manual labor. So we are distributing all these tractors all over the Philippines. No, Secretary Dar just came from the different regions. In fact, we came from the Davao region, so we distributed a lot of high technology, machines, tractors. So we are doing that. We are also putting up high-end cold storages, and this will benefit a lot of farmers as well. So definitely technology, if we embrace it, it will help a lot. If you go to other countries, you will be amazed. We have their farmers are a lot older, but because they have technology, it makes life easier for them.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we are in to our last question. This is actually a question from one of the faculty of Xavier University College of Agriculture. So he wants to ask you, what can digital agriculture do in alleviating the decade-old problem of low buying prices of rice and corn, while milled rice and milled corn prices are rising every year?
Okay. Uh, well, we have um, okay, we have interventions for this. In fact, the secretary said we have to buy. NFA will buy, at a higher price. Lately, there was news wherein palay prices is dropping. Uh, well, one of the reasons is mainly because it's the wet season right now. So for the Department of Agriculture, the secretary specifically instructed NFA to buy these palay, so the farmers can sell it to NFA at a higher price. So that's one intervention, but that is not related to technology anymore. Um, on the technology side, um, uh, we are talking now to some providers of dryers, wherein it's highly automated, not much human intervention. So it will lessen the cost. because that's one of the major problems that we have. No, that's why the palay prices are going down. So as far as that question is concerned, that is, the only thing that I can answer right now related to Agri 4.0. It's more of it's more of the technology that we can use when it comes to the drying of the palay, that's being sold, so that it can be sold at a higher price. Yeah.